Chapter 112. After Amon's declaration, the training days of Skypieans began. Upper Yard was now officially named Shandora, City of Gold, both by Amon and the newspaper. It is located in Skypia. Bro, pay attention. Currently, Amon is fighting with Raki. This was a sword battle. Amon laughed lightly. The truth is, speed is everything if you have balanced strength along with it. Amon continued. Give up, sis. You can't win. Raki grinned. I'm a proud Shandorian. How can I give up? Now, the Shandians are now known as Shandorians, but the Skypieans and Burkans still held their previous names. Fine, Commander Raki. Amon rushed towards her with his sword going towards her neck. Clang, but Raki blocked it. All right, Emperor Amon. Then, a devastating battle began to foster between the duo. While fighting, Amon was still thinking leisurely. Skypia is the best possible place to be the base of my Emperor identity. Oh, this is a naturally secured area, proving that Amon's thought was correct. For any ship to reach the Skypia, Shandora, it needs to use the knock-up stream or summit of the west. However, both ways would lead a traveler to the 3-kilometer-long road called Milky Road. And for Amon, there are hundreds of ways to stop a ship from getting to the other end of the Milky Road alive. Doesn't matter if the ship is that of an emperor or not. Amon evaded one of Raki's attacks. The Milky Road is similar to the Reverse Mountain. The only difference is the white water. Let's take Big Mom for an example. If Big Mom pirates decided to invade the sky, the only way they would think of reaching here is to travel their ship through the Milky Road, connecting to Heaven's Gate. However, in that scenario, just like how All-Star King almost destroyed the Big Mom pirates while they were climbing the Reverse River in Wano, Amon can do the same here. More so, I can actually kill them since not everyone can survive the fall of 10,000 meters from sky. This time, Amon attacked Raki. Even if Big Mom survives the fall, she won't survive falling into the sea. More so, Amon can even know when someone enters Jaya Island with his 300-kilometer observation range, so it was impossible that he would be caught off guard. But even if a rat managed to sneak in, with all the clouds, which can grow into thunderclouds around, this was Amon's natural domain. I should focus on the fight right now. Go rest, Reiki. Sky Sword Style, Divine Impact of Zen. Sky Sword Style is something he invented after working with Raki day and night for the past 4 years. So it wasn't surprising for Raki to use the same move and repel Amon. On the 3rd day of Amon's training regime, a call from Alabasta reached him. I have already started to make the preparations of the marriage. Now I'm just waiting for your response. That's what the caller, King Cobra, said. I understand. Please try to make it as grand as possible. I want the news to reach every corner of the world. I will be there in a few days. Saying this, Amon agreed on his proposal. Cobra seemed more than eager to let Vivi marry Amon. Previously, he agreed on the marriage because Amon was a warlord, so it only makes sense that he would be all for it when Amon is an emperor. Although this would mean Alabasta will now be Amon's territory and will lose the protection of WG and Marines, Cobra was fine with it. Even if the Marines won't protect Alabasta anymore, doesn't mean they will attack it either, or they would have attacked the islands like Fishman Island, since it is Whitebeard's territory. The only possible problem was pirate attacks. Marines won't help against them, but Cobra was confident enough in Amon's influence and power. He assumed, since Amon will have his wife stay here, he would definitely take precautions to help the kingdom against possible attacks. Considering all this, Cobra declared the marriage between Vivi and Amon public. There was a reason for this stupid action that would make Vivi seem like Amon's sore spot. Naturally, after the marriage, the pirates will target Alabasta since Amon's wife would be there. They would assume they can lure Amon easily like this, especially those wicked bastards working under the shadows. However, wasn't that what Amon wants? Indeed, people would target Vivi, but that also meant they won't target the few people Amon cared about in this world. Amon would make people believe Vivi is a weak spot. So before thinking of invading the sky, where some special people live, they will target Vivi in Alabasta. Amon would rather let Vivi die than letting an emperor come to the sky, especially Kaido or Big Mum, who both can fly. Cobra doesn't realize that, so he assumed this would rather benefit Vivi. Actually, it sure will benefit Vivi if she isn't naive. Thus, the marriage began. Do bipu, vup vup vup. Many kinds of instruments were being played all around Raki, but she didn't seem happy hearing them. Rather, she had a frown. Why? Even though that bitch almost killed Yona, why does Bro still want to marry her? She seemed very outraged at Amon's decision, not knowing his plans. She still hasn't forgiven Vivi, after all. Yona had a special spot in her heart. She was cute, and she treated both her and Amon nicely, in a way that no one other does. Raki looked at Amon, who was sitting with Vivi on a stage far away. She bit her lips and whispered, "Horny bastard." Then Raki walked around, looking at earth food that she hadn't seen in 4 years. Cursing in her mind for the umpteenth time, she focused on the food and started to eat from one side of the table. Some waiters tried to stop her, but they walked back after her glare filled with killing intent. Today was the day of marriage. Amon was getting married to Vivi, the princess of Alabasta. This news naturally attracted the attention of many people, emperors and government alike. They have sent many spies around the island, but none of them wanted to confront Amon anytime soon, especially the Marines, who now knew a glimpse of Amon's powers from the report made by Hina-chan. Meanwhile, Amon knew about the spies and was well aware that no one will make a move now. They would rather observe. To them, it was beneficial that this marriage was happening since they can use Vivi and use her against Amon. Thus, they decided to let the marriage proceed smoothly. In front of the large crowd, with many journalists hiding within them, Vivi and Amon were preparing their final words asked by the marriage priest. "Do you accept this man, Amon, as your loving husband?" the priest asked Vivi, who nodded with a red face. She looked more dazzling than beautiful today. Her white marriage dress and gold accessories were saturated by her sky blue hair. Seeing her nod, the priest then looked at Amon and asked the same question. Amon decided to add 2 more lines. "I accept Princess Vivi as my life partner. I hope we will be together forever, not only in this life, but even after our death." Amon kneeled on his one knee and kissed Vivi's hand. Everyone clapped at his words. If only someone said this to me. And even though the lines weren't cool, the females were already jumping up and down. "I'm feeling strange, is this love? What a man." Among them, the red-haired princess from the Melromark kingdom was also there. Ugh, if only I could reach him first. She quickly went to make new plans to reach him, only to be stopped by Robin. The marriage went smoothly. Some distractions occurred, but regular people were unaware of it since Wiper quickly took care of them. Soon, the night fell upon the sandy land of Alabasta. Amon was in a room, a beautifully decorated room with flowers. This was the wedding room for tonight's activities. What's your name?" Amon was sitting on the bed. A silver-haired woman wearing maid clothes was on his lap. He was hugging her from behind. Now and then, the maidservant was helplessly twisting her body in Amon's grasp, but Amon just proceeded to insert electricity in her pleasure nerves. My name is Irene." She seemed to have given up herself to the pleasure source. She simply started to breathe heavily while her hands clutched the bedsheet. She tried to do a last try. "Dear Prince, today is your special day with Princess. You can't touch me like this." Amon stayed silent for a while before removing his hands and falling on the bed on his back. Meh, I'm not interested in a girl with no boobs and ass like Vivi. You are more desirable. Anyway, you can go. Vivi was 14 this year. Although her body looked like a 16-year-old's, she still hadn't gained the properties she had in canon. The maid got up and bowed, ignoring him. She ran away through the door. Although she did feel her body act strange. If she was found acting like this, she would have been executed. She didn't want to take the chance and ran away. Amon yawned as his eyes became sleepy. He didn't act like this with the girl simply because of horniness. It had a reason behind it. She was the illegitimate daughter of Cobra, and she was 17. So Cobra cheated on Vivi's mother even before her death. Amon decided to use the silver-haired woman according to her wishes because of this. I just need to ignite her will to get revenge towards Cobra, and then I can find a scapegoat. Amon yawned again and twisted his body in the outfit of the groom. After a few minutes, Vivi entered the room. It was Alabaster's tradition that the bride will enter the wedroom after the groom, so she was late. She had no idea what happened in the meantime. She brought milk with her, milk for Amon. This was also a tradition, but Vivi looked at the sleeping Amon as her red face became redder, but this red was of anger. Am I that bad? In anger, Vivi drank the milk and went to sleep beside him. Soon, her eyelids closed as Amon and she slept in the same bed. Vivi Pov. Sunlight flashed on my eyes as I slightly opened my eyelids. I stretched a little in the bed as my eyes fell around the room. At first, I was surprised seeing all that decoration before recalling it was my special night yesterday. I also recalled how I slept through it. Groaning a little, I looked at my side where my husband is supposed to be. Where is he? My so-called husband, who slept on the same bed as me but didn't touch me, was not here. I recall him being beside me when I slept. Then where is he? I sat up and rubbed my eyes. Looking around the room, I couldn't see him anywhere. I feel bad and dejected. I'm trying to hide it, but it's a fact. I'm only 14, but even I expected a special night. Yet. Sigh. I sighed. I can't possibly expect anything from him. I should be happy that he married me. Now Alabaster will grow tremendously. I hate to say it, but now we will be the leech. While I prepared to get up from the bed, I heard the sound of passing electricity behind me. You are up. Sorry I slept. I was tired. Surprised, I looked behind. My nose touched another similarly slender nose. My eyes locked with his red eyes. A similarly colored red hue appeared on my face. As compensation, he revealed his hands. Eat this fruit. An earth-colored fruit with strange encrypts was in his hand. My eyes grew instantly. Father never said anything about this.